Oh, I feel funny. Do I ever feel fucking weird? Holy shit. I like hit live and like immediately started feeling funny. That weird. Yeah, that weird. Hmm. Hmm. Our good friend Fazzy is streaming today as well. I was chilling with her a little earlier today. This all started here in the weirdness of feeling all weird. Oh man. Mm, mm, mm. Wow.
You how to fix the issue when
Weird. Mm.
Oh, so also Fazzy, try not to get discouraged. If people don't buy all your things, it's not because it's not great. Could be any reasons. Just have fun and make those connections at the con. It lasts way more than a single purchase. Honestly, honestly, I wouldn't mind like if I don't make enough sales to make back the investment if I
She's so
had
cute, isn't she?
a comfortable amount of money. But that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, I don't have money. Like, I don't have enough money.
Okay, let's do this. Sorry. Okay. What are we working on? Right. It's the game stuff, right? So we want to hit play and oh, I have errors. What are my errors? No, errors are bad. Oh, it's probably because I don't have this. Add custom event. On game has ended. There we go. Compile. Hmm. Now, if I remember, stat unit graph. Oops. Yeah, so our game thread's actually doing okay. It worked. Sort of. This did not work though, because this should be like we have no highlight here, which is bad. Blueprint runtime error, access none type trainer. What? Oh. All right, let's try and get as much work done as we can today. Where we're gonna try and get all of the menus working correctly here. So this is the actual HUD object, right? And we want to change this so we don't have all the weirdness here. So can we set this? No. Wait, if this is the time attack widget HUD, this is just a user widget, right? Activatable user widget? Wait. So, wait. What's this type then? This is a stack object? Oh, sorry. Common activatable widget. That's what it was. I think the entire point here is that we've got to like redevelop all of this because I didn't do it in a way that is actually going to scale outwards. So we have to rethink how we're doing this because this circle here causes a problem and we want to be able to push instead of having to like deactivate and reactivate and stuff like that. And that will allow this to work correctly. And yes, I was able to get my hair washed this last night before bed, so my hair's not all greasy and disgusting today. It's beautiful. I'm so happy. So how is everybody? I should probably put some music on. We could do the surprise or the lo-fi. I might try lo-fi. Let's do lo-fi today. Let's see how well this works. Or maybe chill EDM actually. There we go. We have a bunch of different stuff here. Do Senpai Beats. Oh, they changed the name. It's not Senpai Records anymore. It's Senpai Beats now. Or no, Stream Beats. Stream Beats. They're doing like, they have a pricing tier now? Interesting. Wonder how Harris Heller is doing. Okay, so this is not right here, I don't think. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to come over to the overlay stuff. We come here. This one here, I think. No, this isn't it either. Because we've got this one here. This is where it needs to actually happen here. Which means that this time attack here, we need to come in here and we want to disconnect this altogether here. We don't actually want to do this at all. We just want to do this. And then everything will happen inside of this. So this here is on this. Here's our game state, and we do that. And then what we want to do is we want to do a push onto this stack, right? And we want to do a push widget. And the push widget here should actually create the thing that we want, which is the which is this, the menu. So we do that, and then that pushes that on, and then we should be good there. And then all we want to do here is just make sure that we don't actually deal with this at all. Just skip over it like that, right? This one doesn't get used anymore. I'll just do that. Okay, and then we've got this being fairly close. So we'll hit play and we'll see what happens here. Because this should push the end game stuff onto the screen. There we go. It totally does not work properly, but it is pushing onto the screen, which is nice. Heart attack! How many splats per minute does this truck get? It depends on how concentrated it is. This is just one of my test levels. Oh wow, they're in the air. That's weird. All right, so this is not what it's supposed to be showing, which is a thing, I suppose. So it's supposed to come up like this, but it's not. So that's fun. And I think it's probably because in here for this, I don't have the construct thing set up correctly here. Construct. So here we want to do set input mode to UI only. Get player controller. Is valid. But how's your day going? And then we also want to show the cursor. Fine, bro. I just popped in. Good luck with the game. Oh, thanks. I'm hoping that it works out. It's the hope, the dream. There's so much blueprint right now. We're in blueprint hell. Doing the on the mend thing. Good times. Okay, I think this should fix the focusing problem and give us the controller correctly. So I think this is set up. Yeah, this is set up, and it should default to this one as the first one. This is supposed to be focusable. Yeah, these are focusable. This is focusable. And then the rest of this is not focusable. I do need more pedestrians. There's not nearly enough of them. Every now and then they just go flying. Interesting. Well, that's working, but we're not seeing the we're not getting the thing that we really want, which is that when we hit I feel like the audio is a bit loud. Oops. Let me know if the audio is a bit loud. Either that or this this is just not quite working for me right now. My audio processing's been a little bit fucked up since I went in for my brain surgery. So let's try lo-fi. Everything just feels loud right now. All right, let's see if the start menu works. Hey, old Dreadleaf. Is the audio too loud? Like the music? Yes, okay. I'm not crazy. Fucking right. Okay. How is it so loud? What the fuck did I do? Give me a second. Okay, I think it's this one here. Like, look how low I have this, right? That seems better. Is that better? Was it like really, really crazy loud? It felt really crazy loud to me. Maybe now I hear nothing. Maybe this was bugged. I have a feeling I have a feeling their UI was bugged. Because this seems more along the lines of what I usually go for like audio levels. Yeah, that sounds better. I don't feel the vibrations in the back of my head anymore. Well, you know, it's quite easy. The Pumpy has reached out to me. Free revelation. I don't know how the UI got so fucked up, because it was just like very obviously not where I said it, because like it was like 1% and it was just like, that doesn't feel like 1%. It feels so much louder. So why is this not focusing right? Support activation focus. Auto reset focus. Maybe if I do this and I do focus. Do you find using nodes for programming to be slower than writing code? Absolutely. Like 100%. It's also more confusing. I find it more confusing, harder to maintain, and slower in some aspects. But some aspects, there are aspects where like the flow of nodes actually kind of goes pretty fast. And then immediately when I'm done, I'm just like, I want to rewrite this in C++. Right? Like when you're like and the only reason why it's faster sometimes to do like blueprint stuff is because like you can iterate in the blueprints without having to restart the frickin' editor. And that's the only reason why I ever do things in blueprints. Because like you can iterate a little bit faster. But outside of that, I'm just like, I would rather write code. Ooh. Oh, I moved my head a bit too fast there, and I felt that. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm not the only one old dread live. By the way, is it cool if I just call you Leaf? Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, I restarted my system. So, Bibver, welcome back. By the way, your environments are looking crazy good, man. They look amazing. For anybody who's not seen them. I'm assuming you're going to be okay with me sharing them since you've been sharing them on the Discord. But they look so fucking good. Look how good this looks. Right? Like, look at this world. They did such a good job. Right? Like, look how good this looks. It looks fucking amazing, man. And this isn't even all of them. This is just the most recent ones. Like, look at this. Oh, so good. Just looks phenomenal, though. This is like some good shit here. Yeah, 2 of those 4 environments were made in Gaia, and the other 2 World Machine. Gaia's great. I love Gaia. World Machine I find really difficult. Gaia's a little bit easier, I think. Do you know what's really nice about Gaia though? It is a perpetual. At least you can I think you can, if I'm not mistaken, they offer it as a perpetual, right? I think that you can also get it as a non-perpetual, but they do offer it as a perpetual. So I have a perpetual license for it as well. Yeah. Oh, all of them are perpetual. Okay, there we go. This is what I like about it. And I think I have the I want to say I have the professional. I have the professional or the enterprise. I can't remember. Presets are awesome, but I found it easier to automate World Machine for large scale environments. That's fair. I'm just bad at like doing the generation side of things, if I'm being honest. Like the whole, like all of the math equations don't map as well as I would like them to yet into my head. So I'm hoping that someday I'll overcome that and I'll start actually being able to see it a bit better. But like it's all like kind of ephemeral to me right now. Set dressing for those was done in ZBrush, then for replacing with Unity, but others in team preferred set dressing with Unity as well. Nice. Yeah. One of the other things that I got Gaia for was because Gaia actually supports Houdini. They have a Houdini plugin. Yeah, so you build out the node, the node system inside of Gaia, and then you bring it into Houdini, and you can edit it further in Houdini. Right, but you get you get the entire process through through the Gaia system, and then that comes into Houdini. Yeah, I played around with it for like all of 10 minutes one day. But it was the reason why I ended up with it is because they have the plugin. So pretty happy with that. I also got that other one. There's another one, world builder tools. There's another one that's not what was it? It wasn't Gaia. No, I'm trying to remember the name. It wasn't World Machine. World Machine Alternatives. World Creator. I also picked up World Creator at one point, and I think World Creator also has a perpetual license, and I think I've got that one as well. ZBrush for automation seems weird. I would have done, I think I would have gone for, what was it? I would have done, I think, Blender for automation. Blender GeoNodes. I think I would have gone this way for it if I didn't have access to Houdini. You gonna go more, going more emo? You going more emo? No. Well, maybe, you know, I might dabble in Blender, and you know what they say about Blender, right? What is this? But the sheer MSFS like scale is why, just because a great polycount repository tool cut my life into. That's literally what I was what I was thinking. Yeah, no, like ZBrush is good. It's just like I would have never thought of ZBrush for like adding detail like that. But like I guess it does make sense. Although like wait, wouldn't you be importing height maps and using, I guess I don't know enough about the Unity system. If I'm being entirely fair, I don't know much about Unity. Yeah, sure. We can take a look. Like of course, anytime you have access to a programming language that can spawn things in and stuff like that. Oh, you'll see in a second. Vivver was making these really lovely worlds, and they're using ZBrush. I think they said ZBrush for placing nano meshes and stuff like that. So I think it's like ZBrush for some of the detailing and stuff like that. But it just seems like for with automation, right? Like I think they're using they said they were using Python and stuff like that. Well, so I think this here specifically, this is in Unity, and they're using Gaia to generate the height maps and the landscape. And I think Gaia also places trees and stuff like that, so you can do quite a bit with it. It's a really, really powerful, really cool tool. And then they're using ZBrush to place other details and stuff like that. And they mentioned something about Python inside of ZBrush to do some automation. So, yeah. But they're gonna provide more details. They're posting some. They're getting ready to post something. But like, look how beautiful these are, eh? These just look great. They're just beautiful maps. Hmm. Here I am trying to get these maps, these menus to work properly. So this one works, but the end screen one still is not working correctly. Is the game audio a bit too loud? Because I feel like I should turn it down. Yeah, so here's my kind of issue here with this. That's not working correctly. Know what I mean? Shit. Yeah, I've gotta do some adjusting there. Okay, so I think we do this. Ooh. Oh, hi, Rono Arts. Welcome. And thank you. The game is fun. Your art looks good. I like your latest Dandadan. That's some skill right there. Let's load up the actual map so we can drive around it a little bit. Sorry if I'm a little bit low energy. I'm still on that recovery. But we will get it done. I'm going to try and stream as much as possible today and get these menus worked out so we can have a proper gameplay loop. Hmm. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to switch them over from being teleport based and doing math lerps and some casting and stuff like that to doing physics based movement. I think that will improve the speeds for CPU. And then from there, we'd want to do Sorry. We still have to do shaders to make it look the world look correct, because it's not quite right. All of our points of interest are just completely and totally missing for some reason. That does actually bother me. Or are they? Oh no, they're here. Wait, then what's going on? Oh. They're all here. They're just not showing correctly. It's so weird. Ooh. I like your roads. Oh, cool. You've got actual roads and everything. That's dope. Fuck. Oh, OSM data is always good times. I've played around a little bit with OSM data. Arguably probably not enough, but OSM data is always good times. You can do some really cool stuff with it. It's so weird seeing something like this inside of ZBrush, though. It's just like not something I'm used to seeing. It's cool though. Like whatever gets the job done is what matters. Okay, so right now we can like drive around this city. The vehicle feels a little too light at times, which I'm gonna have to work out. Like when we hit certain things, it feels too light. But I think that will fix itself once we add in destruction. Because some of the stuff that we're hitting, like these here, because they're like immovable, and we go so fast sometimes, right? When we hit these things, we can kind of fly around a little bit. But I am gonna have to like retexture this entire world effectively. This is not what's supposed to happen. This is supposed to pause. Let's see here. What's the HUD here? This is the time attack HUD object itself. The viewport here. We used ZBrush because it was manhandling massive poly counts on low-end PCs for tile generation. Yeah, that is what ZBrush is like well known for. Just being able to like give you all the poly. Yeah, it's definitely the benefit of ZBrush is its ability to handle unbelievably high poly counts on low end systems, which is insane. And I think I think that that's the one thing that it's at this point. I think it's about the only thing that ZBrush has going for it. I think Maxon's gonna kill that product. Deformed terrains in landscape, high poly mesh in ZBrush, then nano mesh assets, placements replaced according to the biome data, and it's just one of those things where like so you've got Mechamorph, who I think Mechamorph is using ZBrush, and like I've always been an advocate for more people doing automation inside of ZBrush, and all of my art friends that use ZBrush look at me like I've got two heads when I talk about like automating ZBrush stuff. And it's probably because like I don't have a concrete example of something that you would want to automate in ZBrush. But it's dope that you have an automated you did automation in ZBrush. It actually makes me really happy, by the way. No, skill wise, art wise, etc. You seem mostly recovered. I'm hoping that I am. I still have my staples. They're right here. You can't see them, but I did get my hair washed last night. My girlfriend was able to wash my hair for me, which was nice, because I can't really wash it myself because I can't see the staples and I have to be very careful around them. So that kind of sucks, but recovery's going good. Going good. I just passed my 1 week. My 1 week was yesterday. So I got the brain surgery on the 29th. So yesterday was my 1 week, and then on the 12th I get my staples out. It's gonna be a bit weird. Luckily one of my mom's friends, he's a friend of mine now too, but he's gonna give me a ride down to the yeah, he's gonna give me a ride to my doctor's to get my staples pulled out, because he's like, that's probably gonna hurt. Are you sure you want to do that by yourself? Because I was just gonna take the train. I was just gonna hop on public transit and go train my ass in. Do they bother you right now while staples are there? Somewhat. I like a little bit. Like if I move too much or like I yawn or something like that, you can kind of feel the staples. And I imagine that they sap a lot of energy away from me, because like I can feel them healing and that they're a bit itchy at times. But but it's coming along. Then on the 26th is when I go in and see my surgeon again for our follow-up. So I get the staples out on the 12th, and then after the 26th I go in and I see the surgeon, and we talk about next steps and what life's gonna look like, because we should have all the information about like exactly what it is instead of just preliminary stuff. Well, we should have concrete information on whether or not it's cancerous or not. Although right now they're leaning towards benign, so that's a a nice relief. So yeah. Well, I think I should be fine. I've effectively got off work until January 1st as well. I have a doctor's note, so I'm on. I think it's still classified as short-term disability. Yeah, it is. It's a great way to deal with things, and the cope is real. Well, they want me working on like so I was looking into like what they suggest for recovering from brain surgery and stuff like that. And they suggest working on puzzles and stuff like that and keeping your brain active. And I was just like, well, the best puzzle that I can think of is programming video games. So it works in my favor. Right? It's like the thing I wanted to do while I was in the hospital anyways. It just happens to be kind of high on the list of things they suggest doing for just after brain surgery. I was actually doing programming in my hospital bed. I'm not even gonna lie. I did a little bit of I did some Swift programming while I was in my hospital bed. Here's just giving you a sign. The universe is telling me that the universe is telling me that I am a programmer through and through, and that I will always be a programmer. How do you get any more signs? All the signs. So I think this set focus maybe? Set user focus. And then this, we would grab the player controller. Get player controller. And then we validate it. I wonder if this will work. I do have to say though that like going through this actually makes me want to set up a Kickstarter or something like that and see if I can go for funding and actually turn this into like a real game. I say that I don't mean like as in like quote unquote real game, but like actually get funding for it and like build it out exactly the way that I want, right? Versus just trying to make do. Like it'd be cool to have like a proper team where we're actually working on like things like a proper environment artist and all of that, and like and all of that would be super dope, and then I could just concentrate on the programming side of things and get that done, because like I have a vision for the game and I know that it's going to take me a long time. I guess we'll see. As I guess we'll see as things go. Just to find out more about your game. Yeah. Well, there's the style that I want, And I don't think that we're going to get there, but I'm going to try. What is it? Anime GTA. This is the style that I would like to see. This game style. This is the style that we want. Right? But I don't know that we'll be able to get there. We do have our first kind of like actually anime style character in the game, sort of like more anime style-y character, but I'm gonna have to get better at at some stuff to get this character to look right, because she still looks a little off, but she's kind of there. Like you can see that like the textures are kind of there. We just need a little bit of post-processing. The banding needs to be there, right? Maybe? But anyway, so this character here is kind of like the first example of this one is this is one of the REM models. And then we've got we have the model from Chris, right? So this is a REM model, this is a Chris model. Right, we've got two from Chris, and technically we have two from REM as well. I just haven't added the other one in yet. She's huge though, eh? How big she is. Holy fuck, I'm gonna have to scale her down a bit. I have not tackled that style before. Try to kind of tune shader in Unity once and some outlines, etc. Yeah, Unity's much easier to get that style in than Unreal is, because like Unreal's a bit like, because of the I think it's because of the deferred rendering or something like that it causes some issues, but it's kind of hard to say. Let's do this really quick here. I want to test something just while it's on my mind, right? I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. I think this should work. Let's see what this looks like. It's Unreal and Unity are kind of similar in a lot of ways, but kind of different. I think this should spawn a lot more characters. If I edited the right one, this will spawn a shit ton more characters. Yeah, here we go. Huh. Huh, I can do even more. Oh, let's do that. Let's do 3,000. Git is my favorite. But that's just because I know Git. I think Pure Force or no. There's a different one that's supposed to be better for game dev, and I can never remember it. That feels so much better. The happy joys. When the world is not populated enough, it feels so empty when you drive around it. So, yeah. 3,000 feels much better, but I do need to do some performance optimization on this. Oh, the world feels great. It's a little bit too detailed. I think we need to remove some details, right? Like they should be flatter colors. I think is what it comes down to, and like less texture. But outside of that, it does feel good, right? And I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, fucking ads. Title menu. No. No, it's fine. I was just I kept pretty quiet. So I think we've got too much texture in the world. Like nano, I think it's called nano details and micro details or something like that. But the world is a little too textured, and it causes it not to look anime enough. So I'm gonna have to go in and fix some of the update a bunch of the textures for that, which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world, right? And then we're gonna have to add some post-processing effects for like banding and stuff like that, and it should fix everything, and add some rim lighting and stuff. But I've got some ideas. Yeah, the banding. So the banding is just like your shadows. Shadow banding. It gives you that like that toon shader, the toon shader shadows where they like step, rather than being like kind of consistent and stuff like that. It gives you like that yeah. I'm like 90% sure they call it banding. Tune shader banding. Yeah, here we go. Do an Unreal instead of material shading. You can do it in both. I'm not actually entirely sure what would be which direction would be the right way to do it though. That one's a bit hard to say. Because you can do it in you can do it in you can do it in a post-processing volume, but you can also do it in the individual materials. And it's kind of hard to say which one would be better because there's pros and cons to both. Because like, would one be screen space and the other be world space? I'm not entirely I think for the most part all of them end up being kind of well, so post-processing volumes are always screen space. At least in Unreal. I can't speak to Unity. They might be able to be both, but yeah, so because like post-processing volumes kind of I think we can test to see whether or not my tablet's gonna work. I did a restart just to try see if it's going to work. I imagine they're kind of similar. Let's see if it will work. No, it's just not working at all here. What the hell? What the hell? Ow. What if I do this and then I just use a different cable maybe? Let's try a different cable. Oh, it's like, okay. All right, that works. Finally, it's working. Okay, so we do this, and then we do this and this. Flow is so different. Different. Yeah, that is kind of the problem. But like, so like in Unreal, your post-processing volumes all work off of gbuffer. Right? So all the gbuffer is like, I'm not sure how much you're aware of it, but you've got your image, right? And let's say we've got the little person here and another person right here, right? And all we're doing is we're taking these and we're just executing on per pixel. So that's all a post-processing effect does, right? Is you've got this is your rendered screen, right? And then we're just executing per pixel. And then with a material, we're doing it over the actual unit itself, right? So this would be a post-processing, right? And then if we were looking at a material itself, material is capable is more reliant on like applying the color, right, to the object itself before this renders, right? So it'd be like you've got your material, and then it does processing, and then it does post-processing as like the last step, right? So by the time you get to post-processing, you've always got the actual image itself, and you execute on the final image, right? Where material is like actually adding color to an object, right? So you operate them a little bit differently. And in Unity, in your post-processing effect in Unity, you have access to sun, right? So or I should say not sun, but lighting data. In Unity. And in Unreal, you don't. No PP lighting. Well, because like in the Unity post-processing effect, I can be like, hey, where's the sun coming from? And I can do a calculation to figure out where the sun is bouncing, and we can use that to do the banding, right? Interesting. Yeah. There's just more that you can do inside of Unity. And I think that's why it gets more the stylized crowd. That, and it's cheaper. For very large games, it is so much cheaper to use Unity. In Unreal, you have you cannot access light data at all. Right? So like in Unity, I can be like, hey, where is light? Right? Where is light? And in Unreal, you just don't have this at all. Now, why that's useful, I wouldn't be able to explain. I know that it's useful for toon shaders, and where you interrupt to do your toon shading, your post-processing volumes, does matter greatly for like the look that you're able to get with the least amount of hackiness. But as far as like for Unity goes, you actually have direct light access for like normal data and stuff like that, and world positions and stuff like that. And in Unreal, you don't. Being needed also. Yeah, you still have to do depth passes on UE as well. Yeah. You kind of have to do the same with UE as well. You like calculate where things are and like what the contrast between this pixel and this pixel is, and then like if it's big enough, you paint this pixel black and this pixel black and stuff like that. Like this sounds so unbelievably wasteful to like run mathematical equations over every single pixel and like multi-sample like a 8x8 box of pixels around it and stuff like that. But then you look at like how much power a GPU has, and it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense, right? So like let's take for example, like let's think about it and say that we're on a 2060, right? CUDA count, of course. So we have 1920, right? Oh, oops. So this means that when we're doing this calculation, we can do 1,920 pixels processed at the exact same time. And this is for a 20, what was it? 2060, right? So 2060 is capable of processing 1,920 pixels at once. So if say, you know, the processing of each pixel takes 0.01 nanosecond, right? Or not nanosecond, whatever this one is, I can't remember, right? Then like this here on a regular HD image is actually not that expensive if you think about it, right? Because like we're not executing these one after another. Right? We've got an entire line, effectively this entire line here is being processed at once, right? And then this line after it, and they just kind of all happen at once. And we don't have to push new textures or anything like that over to the GPU every time we do this, because this image we can just store on the GPU as we're computing. So it saves memory there as well in time, right? So we have our buffer on the GPU. So we've got this bucket here that's just the image, right? This is the screen space image. Right? And we're just executing on this. And this kind of gets like shared to some degree. Like it's not a perfect share, right? Obviously, each one of these has their own one. But the idea is that we've got this image here that we can execute on, and it's kind of shared because it's in a shared buffer. We can't write back to it necessarily. I'd have to look into it to see exactly how the buffers work. But the idea is we've got this like kind of shared image here that we can all pull from and execute on. And as long as we're not writing back to this, we have no, we don't pollute it, right? And then once we're done executing on this section right here, we push this out to the screen and it gets written, right? Or we push this to a buffer and it gets written. And each thread, right, executes on their individual one. So I think that's probably how it works. Come to think of it, yeah, we could do this. We could do this nicer, I think. This type of stuff is quite interesting, right? Wow, it's totally different. Yeah. Well, it works kind of the same on Unity as well. But like what they give you access to and stuff like that is going to be a bit different, right? All right. So like if this is our GPU, right? Say this is our GPU. Our beautiful GPU. Right? Our GPU is kind of broken up into our threads, right? And then we've got our memory. And this is the compute. And then we've got our results. So our CPU, right, will prep everything and push into this buffer. And this is a buffer. Right, and this will hold, say, an image like this, right? And we'll have our like two little people here being cooled together. And and the truck is coming in here. Right? And then the compute will pull from this G buffer here and then execute over this, and then this, and then this, and then this. But it does it at, depending on your GPU, it'd be, you know, for a 2060. Oops. Yeah, and then once it's finished processing this, it writes this to a buffer here. Right, this another buffer. So it's like, this is what these pixels look like. Yeah, I'm totally alive, Funky. And it just does that, but it can do it really fast when you're doing it in batches of almost 2,000. Mr. Brain Dude, yeah. All the brain surgery. Sometimes you just have to go in and get some speed holes into your brain. I'm feeling okay. I'm not on any pain meds at the moment. They've all worn off for the day. I still have pain meds right here. Quite a few of them too, because I haven't been taking them very often. And then I have my Tylenol, which I take periodically throughout the day. This flow here works the same no matter what, because this is just how GPUs kind of process this type of data. But it also depends on the what shader you're on, right? Because there's different there's different shader types, right? The different kinds of shaders. Because like there's different shader steps, right? So you've got your input assembler, which actually builds the triangles, and then your vertex shader, tessellation, geometry. Rasterization is the one that we're talking about. So like rasterization, fragment, and all of this is the one that we're explicitly talking about, right? Is this one? Is this list here? Let's see if somebody's broken this down in a way that is easier to understand. But yeah, effectively, like there's a set of steps that you go through, and you can write a shader for each individual step, right? That would depend on what you're doing and how vast it is. Like if you've got something that needs to affect the entire world, right? It might be better to do it in a post-processing volume. But also the only way to like if you're being entirely realistic about it, right? And just 100% realistic. And you're like, I want this exact look. The answer might not necessarily always be immediately obvious as to should this be a material? Like should we do this in a material? Should we do this in a post-processing volume? Should what area should it be done in? Because unless you're an expert, right? Which neither of us are, right? You won't know because you haven't played around with it enough, right? But what it ends up coming down to is like, where is it most performant for your game, right? And that might be post-processing volumes. It might be doing it in the shaders, in the materials, right? Or something like that, right? Because like, there's not really much of a difference between a shader and a material when you really look at them, except for at what step do they execute, right? So. No, I'm still not a furry. Funky, still not a furry. Yeah, it comes down to totally game dependent. I think like if you deeply understand the entire process and you actually know the world of shader development, it is something that becomes very obvious what stage you should do certain things at. But for the layman like you and I that don't really know what we're doing, like I understand a little bit more of the maybe a little bit more of the technical side of things, but just because like I've dabbled a tiny bit into it in doing OpenGL programming, where you have to write all of your shaders from the ground up for each step, or else you don't see anything on screen. And then it was a lot of hand holding, right? So like, but like if you actually understand shader development on a deep level, it's probably blatantly obvious what step each individual step, what should be done and what part of that is going to be best for your game. But it can be entirely 100% just like entirely based off of like what style are you going for, you know, what are your performance metrics and stuff like that. Because like deferred rendering is more performant for some types of games and forward rendering is more performant for other types of games and stuff like that. So it's like there's not really a one size fits all situation for anything, unfortunately. Would be nice though. It'd be like super cool. Vibver, are you doing kind of like PlayStation look for your game? It kind of feels PlayStation-y. But that could just be because of the distance, right? By the way, everybody, how's the music volume-wise? End screen, yeah. Shares, but I can. But I can say that it has to be style the way you want to be executed. when tackled it for game at the company, we even had an insane amount of variation going into it using literally 3D models and vertex colors, as well as testing super small flat color swatch, like texture combinations of shaders to test with, like maybe only the black outline and screen space, with one of them in cell shading in the shader, etc. Yeah, testing is so much fun though. That's weird. They're a bit all over the place. Maybe we could put a tractor in. Start running people over with a tractor. I've got to figure out what's going on with this. This is a problem. With my game, I wanted to go mostly realistic, and the last screenshot you saw were literally PBR renders in ZBrush. Interesting. That was... Oh, that was this one, right? This looks really good. You did a really good job on that. I still have the Unity version of this game too. I feel like I should go grab a drink or something. Give me one sec. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab something to snack on real quick. Maybe a drink or something. My brain is still apparently a bit of a mess sometimes. Can't imagine why. I'll be back. Sorry, I'm back. Okay. Take a quick photo of my lunch, which is Chinese sausage with rice. It's actually pretty good. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's quite good. Mm. I wonder if it's maybe it's not that one. Maybe it's this one that's not working. I think I found the problem. Gonna call day. Didn't realize it got so late. Oh, no worries. Thanks for swinging by. And you have a good rest of your day. I look forward to seeing. I look forward to seeing more of your game when you're further along. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. And your game's coming along really nice. At least the world. barely finished my notice period at this job. You're already killing it. Nice. Well, good job, and congratulations, man. It's deserved. Sounds good. Peace. Oh. Did I drop anything? Whoa. Ooh. Ooh. We're gonna keep taking it easy today. And try and get this stuff worked out. This is kind of cool. Oh, it's this one, yeah. Because if I do this and then we do I did add some stuff to it. Some of these look really good. This one. Oh, excuse me. Something feels off about that image. This one actually looks pretty good. So you guys know, I might play video games a little later today, but I'm not sure when or if. First things first, I do want to get this out of the way. I'm not really enjoying this because this seems to be causing more problems than it's worth. Now let's see if this works. No, it's totally not working. Wonder why though. This seems to be the primary issue though, this entire component here. So maybe we do this instead. And we just do it all in the HUD instead of doing it in here. Let's find usage. Let's see if this works. So I do feel like it's I feel like it was that specific thing that was causing the problem. Okay. Okay, so I think here if we actually create a HUD object, we can like a HUD. No, we want a active. No, yeah, no, it's this. Hey, dude. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit low energy, but things are looking up. I'm gonna try and get these menus all worked out today, hopefully. So this will be a protected property blueprint. I'm a little bit exhausted. Can't imagine why. It's a mystery we'll have to live with for the rest of our lives. We'll never know. Unreal Engine property. We need a activatable widget. Common activatable widget, that's what it is. T class pointer or something like that. It's not T object pointer. Unreal Engine. Subclass of. That's what it is. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so then the idea would be it's the HUD. Should be this one here, right? Event begin play. So we want begin play, and begin play I think is Okay, so then we're going to create the widget and then we'll add it to the viewport. So get owning player controller. This returns a U player control, an A player controller, A player controller. And then here we want to do weak object, I think would be, and then this would be a end match widget. This would be create widget. Owning object will be this. Now owning player is going to be our player controller. Do, do, do. I'm working on some HUD and UI stuff in UE C++ and would like to know what the create widget looks like. Okay, so this would be the in-game overlay. Which one of these is which, though? Class. This one here would be the class. And then I think oh yeah, this one here can be a user widget. Yeah. Then we would do a bind on get game mode. Get world, I think. And then we use this to get game mode. How do I get the current game mode in UE C++? U gameplay statistics. That's what it was. U gameplay statistics. Get game mode. Get world. Or what is the game mode? Is it a U or an A, or it's an A? So if we were to do this cast, I see game mode base, and then we could do this. If game mode. And then we need to add the widget to the viewport. Okay, and that's just this HUD widget. Add to viewport. What's add to viewport versus player screen, right? They seem similar, but an important difference in ownership and multiplayer behavior. Adds the viewport, the global viewport, not tied to a specific player. You put widgets in layer 0 by default overlay system. The widget associated with this specific player controller. Oh, okay. Player HUD health ammo. Interesting. Okay, so we'll add to player screen. We don't need this because it's not actually being used. It's kind of surprising. Oh. Oh man, healing. It's gonna take me forever to heal, maybe. On game has now I have to remember how to bind. How do I bind to a C++ delegate? Bind dynamic, that's what it was. the game mode. On game has ended. And then it's dot bind dynamic dot bind dynamic, right? Oh no, it's add dynamic. And then inside of here, we would do a, I don't think this needs to be public, but we'll create a public anyways. We'll just do a U function because these do need to be U functions. Blueprint. Say it's blueprint call. Actually, it doesn't need to be blueprint callable. Void handle build game as ended. I guess we could actually have the HUD actually take care of that because from within the game mode, we could just call into the HUD directly. Then we don't have to do a bind or anything like that. But then that requires a cast at that time. Not that that matters. Right? No matches ended. You gameplay. You game. How do I get the HUD object from the game mode? Mode only exists. Oh, okay. So no, I am doing it the right way. Okay. There we go. Now this handles all of the wonderful jazz that we want here. I think this music is a bit too slow. Let's try this. Maybe. Just not feeling that. Isn't this the same song? Hmm. Yeah, I kind of screwed that one out. This was in the HUD. Uh, interesting. I guess this is probably just this. Oh, it's because... Is it not an object? This is weird. Oh, wait, that's why. Ugh.
Alright, you ready? Yeah. Alright, let's fucking do this. Everybody on the fucking floor, give me all your fucking money. Fuck, man, it's cops. Let's go. Stop, put your hands in the air. Fuck it.
All right, I'm definitely just missing like an import, probably. Oh. know it is. Right, this is player controller, right? Oh man. I'm gonna be honest. I think about 2.5 hours is about as far as I can go. I'm trying. I'm trying to get back into things, but fuck, I am just constantly drained right now. Feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm gonna try and stream again later tonight after I do a bit of a rest. But I will catch you all later. Thanks to everybody who showed up and chatted. You were all awesome. And I'll see you maybe later tonight. All right, ta-ta for now.